Joining us now, Subway Fresh Take Hotline, Philadelphia Phillies outfielder Shane Victorino, one of the final candidates that you can vote for at MLB.com to make the National League roster for the All-Star Game. But Shane, you're currently day-to-day after a bit of an awkward tumble up on the turf in Toronto, so let's start with that. How's the thumb?
I'm just trying to get it better. Trying to, get some of the swelling out of there. Trying to, not trying to take one of those embarrassing falls again. But, just one of those things. The turf got me there in Toronto, and a little sore, but we'll be day to day, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, the turf monster got to keep. We all have to keep our eye open for them. How frustrating
Absolutely.
is it? How frustrating is it, Shane, to miss games? But because I know you've had the hamstring this year, and here we are with this all-star last man in chase that we've got. I want to talk about that in a minute. But it's hard to miss games, isn't it, for a player like you that's such a battler?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no any part of the season that you want to miss. And, unfortunately, some of these injuries, came and, freak times. One, with the right hammy, going into these games, there was nothing, no signs of anything, was feeling good. And, that hampered me a little bit for a couple of weeks. And then, just a freak accident the other day in Toronto,
Yeah.
As you touched on a little bit the other day that, a second ago, that the turf monster got me and, ended up slamming my thumb into the ground. So, again, just kind of some freak stuff. But, hey, you know what? It's part of the game. That's why you play 162. And some things like this happen. Unfortunately, you don't want it to happen, but it does happen. And you just got to, stay strong and get better and get back out there.
You've been smashing the ball lately. The average is up over 300. And the one thing from afar looking at this team this year is that it seems like it's a roster that's kind of in flux. I know it gets warm, and your manager, Charlie Manuel, likes to talk about hitting season, and we assume that those bats will just wake up and they'll be like they were last year. But it's obvious that the numbers aren't quite the same. How worried would you say you guys are as a club about trying to figure out who you are from a batting standpoint?
Well, you know what? I don't think we're worried. I mean, obviously, you rely on our pitching. That's what our team's built on now. But, as they would say 3 or 4 years ago, you would have probably never said that. You would have talked all about our offense. But, unfortunately, we haven't been able to click. But, at the end of the day, you look at the wins and losses, and that's what it's ultimately about. And, our pitching keeps us in the game. And, we just try to keep going out there and scrap for runs and get, for instance, last night, win a 1-0 ball game, which was very important, with Worley on the mound. So, those kind of things come into play. But, yeah, ultimately, do we want to go out there and score 10 runs a game? Absolutely. Our offense is capable of doing that. But it's just a matter of us staying focused and taking one game at a time and just putting up W's.
Shane Victorino is our guest here, Scott Van Pelt Show on ESPN Radio, center fielder for the Philadelphia Phillies. And as you know, Shane, the world's biggest Philly fan is a guy who we work with at ESPN. I think we've told you about him some. And he used to stress out game to game and really freak out about his team. And now he just doesn't know what to do because, as he told me before the season started, looking at the pitching you guys have, he said, we're slump-proof. And I was looking at your record throughout the season. There's only been one time all year where Halladay and Lee have been involved in games that were lost back-to-back. Do you all feel like as a squad that I know Roy's out for the moment, but that the kind of pitching you have, you truly are a slump-proof team?
You don't want to say that. Obviously you rely on our pitching, and our starting staff's been unbelievable, but, you don't want to think about it that way. We just got to go out there and just, like I said a second ago, just scrap for runs. Obviously, yeah, we want to go out there and produce all these runs and, give our pitchers a comfortable cushion to work with. But, for some reason, these guys are able to, keep us in the ball game and keep us going. And, any type of run we can score. It's definitely great to know that every night you got an ace on the mound.
A couple of years ago, the final man in for the All-Star game, you got that call, you got to go. What was that experience like, being an All-Star? How much did it mean to you?
Oh, it meant a lot. It was a great experience. One being the first, ever Hawaii-born position player to make the All-Star game. That was such a, an honor there. But, representing Philly and the organization and the city of Philadelphia. And, again, representing Major League Baseball, I think, playing in an All-Star game is, one of those dreams that you dream as a kid, and playing in an All-Star game at the highest level. And, it meant a lot to me in '09 to go there. And, again, obviously being in that position in 2011 this year, being in that final vote again. So, I'm definitely excited for the opportunity. And, hey, if it happens, it happens. And I'll be very excited to, represent the National League and, of course, Phillies and, of course, as we would say, the 808, the state of Hawaii.
It's funny, as you said that. I know how much the Phillies mean to the city of Philadelphia, just such a passionate sports town. But I almost wonder, Shane, does it mean more to Hawaii than it almost does to Philadelphia because of the fact that you're the guy that's flying that flag so high for them?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, fortunate for us, we already have one guy representing the 808, which is Brandon League, who's
Yep.
the closer with Seattle. So, we're getting one representative from the 808 state, but it would be great to have a second. And hopefully, if it does come true and I'm there at the All-Star game, hopefully Brandon and I will get to face each other.
Shane Victorino is our guest here, Philadelphia Phillies, and I know it's not your thing to try to say, hey, fans should vote me in over this guy, that guy, or the other guy. Uh, but I mean, it obviously means a lot, doesn't it? I mean, I think there are guys like a guy like Jeter just seems like he's there every year. To get a chance to go back, is there still something like that? There's that little kid in you that you think, my God, I'm an all-star, and that it's just hard to put into words how big a deal that is.
Oh, it absolutely means a lot. And for instance, like you just said, I mean, there's guys that go every year and, guys that get the opportunity. But, anytime you can be voted in around the league by managers, players, fans to represent, Major League Baseball, I think it's an honor. And, again, everybody on the ballot, this final ballot is every well-deserving. So, it's up to the fans to do and feel what they, think is, the guy who can represent the National League the best and represent their organization. So, again, just go out there and keep playing and find a way to win.
My man, good to visit with you. Hope that the
Thanks,
thumb
Johnny.
gets to feeling better. And be well. Enjoy the summer. Tell Jimmy Rollins I said what's up, all right?
I will do that.
Shane Victorino, Philadelphia Phillies, and all our guests on the SVP show up here on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline. Try the new Subway $3 flatbread breakfast combo, a tasty 6-inch flatbread breakfast sandwich, and a cup of Seattle's best coffee. Subway, eat fresh. You hear guys talk about where they're from, and you think, well, we're all from somewhere. Yeah, that's true. But I've had a chance to see where Shane Victorino is from. He talked about the 808. That's out in Hawaii. My main man, Neil Everett, I used to do Sports Center with before, became Hollywood and had to move out west and abandon his boy here in the Northeast. I guess we sort of semi-emceed Shane's charity event out in Hawaii, and it's such a big deal where they're from. Part of the reason why Neil could be, I think he could run for mayor, governor, czar of the entirety of Hawaii and win, is because he reps that island here. It's a big deal to the folks there. And Shane Victorino, obviously, being a world champion and an all-star and all the rest, it's a huge deal for that part of the world to have one of their own as an all-star. And as you mentioned, there's a couple there potentially this year. And again, the voting, you can continue to do that until, Thursday afternoon. So Victorino got that call last year, 2 years ago, I should say, 2009, hoping to get it again. I'm getting asked by a lot of people, do I think McCutchen from Pittsburgh got snubbed? Yes, I absolutely do. Hoping to visit this week with Clint Hurdle, the skipper of the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's a good, trending to really good story for the Pirates to be above 500 and potentially have an impact on that playoff race. It'd be great for that city to have some hope again. And I do think McCutchen got snubbed. Not as bad as Konerko, but I think he got snubbed.